Oh, now Phil's back. And he's brought a beer. But not for me.
Oh, replenished.
So you think you can survive the half pint now? Now that you got more than a half pint?
Yep. I mean, we're all on holiday.
Yes, we are.
So, drinking on a school night. Well, it's not a school night.
Welcome to the half pint. Now with gin. I changed my mind up the stairs. I've had a beer. Now it's time to gin it up a notch.
Yeah, good. But you might need it because I heard something on another podcast today that I feel it wasn't main show material. It was half pint. Have you heard of Destroy Dick December?
Luckily, no.
No. Apparently, I hadn't either. Apparently, it's a follow-up to the No Nut November, where some people go through November without coming, and as a sort of way to
Compensate? You're
compensate.
violently masturbating in December?
Yes, and apparently the thing is that on December 1st you masturbate one time. On December 2nd, you masturbate 2 times.
Oh, it's gotta be
And
so
so
Christmas.
on and so on, and see how long you can go. So I feel like I can see on your face that you're not participating because you would be stressed today being the 30th,
I'm
getting shit done.
Well,
I'm not 14 anymore. So
I was going to say there was a time when that might have been possible.
I'm just struggling to think to last the first week.
But as a
but it
person...
would surely be a challenge. I mean,
Yes,
it's
yes.
it wouldn't be like a home run, slam dunk. That it would, yeah.
I don't
That
see
wouldn't be
any
proper
way
work.
this could have something good come out of it, but
No pun intended.
at the end there nothing is coming out.
It's just a dry cough at that point, isn't it?
Very much so. Oh yeah, I felt I had to share it with someone because it was too funny to think about.
I'm very
see
glad
that
you decided to share that with us.
I,
Or am I?
I see that as a very difficult concept for Secret Santa. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we should change it to that. No.
I think the current model is fine.
I mean, although they say Christmas is all about giving, but no.
It is better to give than to receive. And let's get this jam jar in the post.
Oh.
I hope there's laws
oddly,
against that.
I did last night. I watched.
Please finish that sentence quicker.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let it linger to give you ample time to guess which direction this is gonna go in. No, I watched 2/3 of the first episode of Fallout, and of course, it's a post-apocalyptic world, and they're living down in various bunkers as far as I got to see, and then of course repopulating has become something that you do out of necessity, not because falling in love with someone. And then yeah, they were very blatantly talking so what's your sperm count, because that's what the numbers mattered. So yeah, when you said that that mason jar in the mail, it kind of made me think about that episode. Yeah. But then again,
Don't send it
it's
post,
quality.
otherwise it would have gone off.
It's quality, not quantity, is it? Yeah, and I think it's very much up to the method of delivery.
Somebody changed the subject, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry I started us off this way. It happens. I also heard that there's a Totoro Stageshow in London, I think.
A who?
A stage show?
A stage show of Totoro,
Oh, stage
the
show. Yeah.
the um, the Japanese
I've
movie.
I've heard that as well. It's relatively new, I think, because it was the first show outside of Japan that also got the proper rights to do it. So
Ah, yeah, okay.
yeah.
That sounded really nice, but I mean, I'm not going to England, so.
Well, I'm not going to London.
No, I mean, if I were in London and they were showing and you could get tickets for it, sure, I would be the first one in line. But I've become so old now. I don't travel there for shows anymore. I did that
Yeah.
at some point, like it was an excuse to go there. But no.
Mm.
What would be a show for me to go to London? I can't even think of anything. Ned.
I think you
I
have to be starring in one.
even then, I think it would be
Can we do it
hard.
remotely?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do I have to?
Can we do a hybrid play?
Can I just dial it in from the workshop?
Yeah. Let me just call it in.
Yeah. I can't think of a show that would even make me go into the centre of my town, let alone
No.
go to London, let alone go to another country.
Norway has. We have played catch up with Germany and Sweden, so now we have some decent rock and metal festivals in Norway, and I've seen the lineup for them, and like yes, there is some band there that very much colored my childhood, and it would be amazing to see them. And it might even be the last chance of seeing them because they're getting kind of oldish. But I can't be bothered. I think it was 3 years, maybe. I went to a Scorpions concert because it was close to here and it was a day and the kids were away and the wife said, go. I got the tickets. And I mean, I knew I was old enough that I did not get the standing seats. I mean, I got the seats at the back, and I left before they came back on stage to play some more because I wanted to beat traffic. And then I realized that this is a waste of money, and people were. I mean, the songs I wanted to hear, then people were screaming off key next to me to those same songs. I mean, I could if I want to hear them with good quality, I could do so on my headset in my living room with a glass of whatever I want. So why do I pay a lot of money to go here?
Exactly. It's the same reason we don't go to the cinema much anymore. Because there was a time when you go to the cinema and people would, there'd be the rustling of crisp packets and people chatting through the trailers and all that sort of stuff. But when the film actually came on, people would shut up and watch a film.
Yeah.
And now people are on their phones, they're having meals delivered, they're chomping their way through this, they're having a chat, they're shouting, they're throwing stuff.
That being said, I'm going to the cinemas in 2 days.
Good. I hope you have a great time.
I won't, but I'm very much on the same page as you. I hate going to the cinemas, both me and my wife. But there is now a film coming out that the entire family has decided we should. I mean, it's the day after New Year's Eve, and no shops are open, no restaurants are open. Basically, nothing to do. You should stay at home, but you could go to the cinemas. So we got tickets, so we're going there with the kids. So it's for the kids. I think the movie is going to be enjoyable enough for us adults as well. But yeah, it's going to be popcorn everywhere and
No.
kids are talking loudly. So I'm just mentally prepared. It's going to be that kind of cinema experience. So
I suppose it depends on the film and it depends on the cinema, doesn't it? If you
Yeah.
go and watch some, if I was going to centre of town and we've got a couple of art house cinemas, you go and watch some obscure European thing with subtitles or a documentary
Yeah.
in a small art house cinema, you're probably going to be having a good time. But some big blockbuster thing out at the multiplex full of
No.
kids and people who've had too much to drink already.
But that was brilliant, though. I think the last place I worked, and then I lived in another city, they refurbished one of their cinemas, and in one of the theaters, they put in some double chairs with tables in between, and they call it the luxury cinema. And then, of course, it costs 3 times as much, but you get a bottle of wine, and there are just some few seats. But it's expensive enough that 2 14-year-olds are not going to go there. I think it was also because they were serving alcohol. You needed to be 18, but nobody at 18 is going to the cinema to drink wine. So it was people 40 plus. And then, yes, they shut up when the movie starts. Yes, you could hear some clanking and filling of wine glasses, but that is acceptable. So that was a nice experience also because my work had, I think it was once a month, they had like a draw of 2 tickets. Like at the Friday coffee, we now for May we drew 2 tickets, and you get to bring someone to the cinema. So that was really nice. So cinema can be nice if you just put your back into it.
Yeah.
But
No, we actually went to
No,
the cinema the other day and saw the great film Anaconda, the new one with Jack Black, because the kids like Jack Black, but it wasn't really a kids movie. But it looked a bit like a kids movie. But I mean, when one of the cast members was taken away by the huge snake coming from a tree, my youngest started crying a bit, and there was a lot of parents with kids going out after like half an hour or so because they realized that no, this is not a kids movie just because it has kids actors in it.
oh, I I just remembered. We went 2 days before Christmas Eve. We went to the theater to watch a Norwegian children's play about a mouse, and a fox, and a moose and whatnot, and they are living the struggles of small animals in the forest. So of course it was the National Theater in Oslo. So it's an old theater, so it's very nice. So we went there, and there was just a lot of families with kids from 6 months up to 10 years, basically. That's the age span you're looking for. And of course, everybody sat down, and the curtains went up. And this is the kind of play where the actors also just pop up randomly in the between the audience and then runs up on stage and whatnot. And they started this. It's a scene. It's the forest, and of course, there is a crow. That's the first character that appears, and this crow is played of an adult man, 50 plus, with long black hair, probably been smoking and drinking continuously since he was 14, because that's how he looked and sounded like, in a black leather jacket, and then on his arms he had black feathers, and then he had a beak that made him look like one of those plague doctors. And he just came in from the side. And of course, this one kid behind me is probably just 7 8 months or something. He just started screaming on the top of his lungs, and it's like, this is not the scream where you're startled or you're just sad. This is proper trauma, instant trauma. And the parents just they got up and they went out, and I was sitting there, and was it is sad to say, but I was almost having a little chuckle to myself, because I was just thinking, 20 years into the future, someone is going to the psychiatrist, and then he's gonna ask, when does this trauma of crows come from? And I know it was that night at that exact same, because that kid is never going to look at a crow ever again the same without having huge issues. So, but other than that, the play was nice. But yeah,
Excellent.
that kid is going to have a struggle with crows for the rest of his life.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know how true this is. Probably very true, although I have no memory of it whatsoever. But your parents, I'm sure you have embarrassing stories about your children, which you'd like to tell other people for the humorous effect. Apparently, when I was very young, we went to see a production of Jesus Christ Superstar, an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. And apparently, I got very upset when they started nailing him to the cross. I was shouting at the actors, "Stop that! You're hurting him." Which apparently someone sort of like went to the front of the stage and said, "No, it's all right. It's just pretend."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being really young at a play, and there's one of the characters dies, and I remember having a smaller kid sitting next to me or one person away, whispering rather loudly to his mom, "Did he die for real?" And I remember me saying, "No, of course he didn't. He didn't. He didn't. Did he die?
He's
Because
not moving.
I wasn't moving, and I sort of reasoned with myself. But it would be really expensive to have an actor die every show, so they probably don't do that. So I was old enough to reason that, but I wasn't sure myself either. So yeah.
Yeah, it turns out he said Macbeth and they had to kill him off.
Now turn around 3 times and spit on the stage director or whatever it is you're supposed to do.
I'm sure that's it.
Slap the stage manager.
That will not get you killed in no way.
Oh dear. I saw a very interesting video. But I thought it was quite interesting, and I'm gonna just stick it in. I'm trying to find the actual video, but I'll just link the Wikipedia article here, so you can give me the correct Norwegian pronunciation.
Ooh, exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vemork.
There we go.
Yeah.
About the it was a video by the architect who they've employed to basically jazz it up.
Yeah.
To make it more visitor friendly for 2020 whatever going on. And it's a very, very impressive place, isn't it?
Oh, the heavy water
Yeah.
plant.
It is. It's a very nice building, and the valley where it sits is very narrow, and for several months a year, I mean, this is basically half of Norway, but they get an additional um, deprivation of sunlight in the wintertime. So they've put up huge mirrors on the top of the mountains for the winter months to guide the sun down to the city square. So that's become a bit of an attraction.
Amazing.
And of course, they made various movies about the heavy water factory, which is down of the main building. That of course was blew up, and then they just piled a lot of rubble on it in the aftermath of the war. But that was rediscovered while I was working in the Directorate of Cultural Heritage. So of course we had a field day when they found that, and it turned out that a lot of the things were still in an acceptable shape. So it's been spending a lot of money the last couple of years to rebuild that as part of the war history. but it's an amazing factory to go. It's a huge building, and yeah, you can also walk along the water lines that go down to the hydro plant as well, and up to the mountain to get a fantastic view. So yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't go to London to see a show, but I'd go to Norway to see that.
Oh, for sure. And it's also not too far away from the highest mountain in Norway, um, where you can walk up and you can take an elevator down, because inside the mountain there is also some infrastructure. So there is an elevator. Obviously, you can take the elevator just up and down as well. But I mean, it's nice to walk one of the directions and get the view, and then
Mhm.
yeah, been there, done that, and you can take the elevator down.
Excellent. Oh, there we go. Norwegian Tourist Board thanks you.
And if you don't feel like going there, I can really recommend the dramatization of the Second World War sabotage of that. I think it's called the Saboteurs in English. Kampen om tungtvannet. It's called in Swedish at least, and it's a really nice show where actually the Norwegians speak Norwegian, the Germans speak German, the English speak English, and all that.
Yeah.
It's not a bunch of Americans saying, "I am very proud of my Norwegian name." I say
No,
that I love the Heroes of Telemark. It's that's my Christmas film. It's not The Great Escape or Escape from Auschwitz, not Auschwitz, Alcatraz. Very different vibe.
very.
No, no. Heroes of Telemark is definitely that's my sort of Christmas day falling asleep in front of the telly film. Love it.
Yeah. No, of course, this just turned into the History Channel. When I worked in the Directorate of Cultural Heritage, I worked with boats. So from this hydro plant, and also from the heavy water plant, there's a rail line that goes down to a lake, and there are two ferries that take railroad carriages, which is kind of cool. And these are operating today, so we've given them a lot of money to keep them restored and operable. And of course, during the sabotage of the plant, there was also a vessel that was sunk in that lake, which is kind of deep, um, and it's sitting there to its day, with a lot of heavy water. So a few years ago, someone went there to do. You're not allowed to go there because it's registered as a grave, and a cultural heritage site as well. But they were doing some research, so they brought up one of the barrels for research purposes. And when they were done with that, they just bottled them in small vials and sold them off. So you could still, and still to this day on online marketplaces, you can still find those vials. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not crazy expensive because there was a lot of them, with heavy water from that ferry that were sunk during the war. So that's interesting.
Perfect if you want to make something which might use heavy water in its production.
Yeah, but you need a lot of them.
And it
Yes,
seemed
I suppose.
hard.
Just make a really, really, really small one.
But I mean, at some point, and I forgot the answer to this, but at one point, like, how heavy is heavy water? So it's heavier. I mean, but yes, you could also argue if regular water is heavy. Um, and then the other question was, which I also forgot the answer to, could you drink it? If I remember correctly, I think you could, because it is still water. It just have better qualities with uh, cooling and whatnot in a nuclear reactor. But it looks like KJ is already googling this, so we might have an
Yeah,
answer
I
to that.
felt yeah, because I
vested
know
interest here.
this, but I don't remember what it is. Deuterium oxide, 2H2O, D2O. It's complicated.
Sounds complicated.
Can you drink heavy water?
Sounds sciencey.
And then AI will give you a bullshit answer, and if you don't verify it, you can just
Hey, that's a great idea. Let's have a look.
exactly. So yeah, this is not an awkward silence. It's just three blokes reading about the heavy water sabotage on Wikipedia.
I'm just watching KJ reading about the heavy water sabotage.
Yeah.
And
But
can you drink heavy water? I'm just on the edge of my seat wondering,
it's just slightly different physical and chemical properties.
I mean,
it's
it's a separate Reddit post, but I mean, AI overview tells me that yes, you can drink heavy water, deuterium oxide (D2O) in small amounts with no harm.
it's great
But
as a mixer.
yeah, but drinking large quantities over time is toxic and can be lethal. But then again,
Well, life
that
is
is
toxic and lethal.
that is water as well. If you drink enough to it, your kidneys will fail at some point, but you have to drink a lot of water. So then we're back on what's the definition of a lot? More than a little, but Mm. All
okay.
right.
So this it just
The heavier deuterium atoms interfere with normal biological processes like cell division, eventually causing severe health issues or death if it replaces too much of your body's regular water.
Probably
Again,
shouldn't then.
but how much water you need to drink for your all the water in your body, which is what is it? 90%
Something like that.
is heavy water.
Mhm.
I mean, a single glass won't hurt, but prolonged significant replacement, like 20 to 50% of your body's water, disrupts cellular function, leading to sterilization or fatality. Well, I already have one of those two, so. But then again, yes, you have to drink a lot of it. And then if you drank just as much of a lot of other things, that would be just as harmful. So,
Yeah. I mean, the only difference of it is that deuterium is like hydrogen, but it gets a neutron as well as a proton.
yeah.
That's why it's heavier. So the heavy water is twice as heavy in the hydrogen part, but the hydrogen is a really small part of every molecule. So I don't think it's matter that much.
That's what I also thought I remembered that if you have a barrel of the one and compared it to the other, the difference of them were not a lot.
So the name isn't indicative of the thing. It's heavy in other ways.
I mean, it's made it's more deuterium is heavy hydrogen, so I think that's where the heavy comes from, because in hydrogen, the hydrogen sense that's heavy, but
Yeah,
not in
I
the water.
think, not to toot my own horn, but I think with ample time I could find a better word for it than heavy water. But then again, it's stuck, and yeah, people seem to know what it is. So
Spicy water.
yeah, spicy water, special water.
So are we a science podcast now?
Definitely. We said things like D2O.
And made it sound like we knew what we were talking about after reading Wikipedia. So
But
yeah,
I see that Nile Red actually has a video where he's drinking heavy water. So I mean, we're not the first YouTubers to touch upon the subject.
I'm not surprised. And I mean, he's doing quite well for himself, it feels. So,
Yeah,
but maybe that's all his charm.
it is.
So I'm just scribbling that
I
down.
mean, I
Making
think
notes.
now I'm talking without knowing again, which is 80% of the time. But I don't think he is. I don't think he studied chemistry at a very high level at the time he started as a YouTuber.
I think he started when he was at uni. I don't know if he finished his studies or not. don't remember.
No, because I got the feeling that he just at some point segued away from the theoretical part to just I'm gonna learn this by just doing the practical part, and he is now. I mean, he's probably a more practical chemist than many of the people who are
Yeah,
coming out of university as chemists today. So
for sure. But it seems really hard being a physical chemist. Just watching his videos, it's a lot of work for not that much of a result.
all right, he has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry with
Okay.
a minor in pharmacology. So I thought he didn't get that far, but there you have it. Talking without knowing, you shouldn't do that. You should read up, which I'm doing now.
Reading
Very
after talking.
Yeah,
Reading and talking and regurgitating what I've just learnt.
exactly. And said with the confidence of someone who has known this for years.
Exactly. An air of authority.
Yeah. But good listener, as long as you say, I heard it on a podcast, everyone knows the level of correctness. I mean, that's just one step above asking AI.
Yeah, that's hearsay at best.
It's worse than AI because, is it better than AI? Because at least we're upfront about the fact that none of this has been fact checked between the three of us and our memories. Has this been peer reviewed? What? Ask AI.
I mean, we are 3 persons here, so we are doing a continuous peer review as we go along.
Yeah.
Review.
Peer. I mean,
Don't know, haven't a clue. Maybe.
how would a peer review for a podcast look like? Would it have to be a separate podcast?
I think so,
And
yes.
should it then be a maker podcast, or should it be a completely different podcast? Like a
Should be a
food
maker
podcast?
podcast.
I have to be a peer one, it should be a maker podcast.
Yeah, true that. It's kind
So
of in the word.
does that mean that we need a friend maker podcast and not just enemy maker
Yeah.
podcasts?
Peer reviewing your own podcast.
I think that's
Get you
frowned
into trouble.
upon.
This is the best podcast there is on the subject.
It's
Yes, it
peer
is.
reviewed. It's peer reviewed by the Crude Made Mistakes podcast, which you can listen to on Thursdays.
It's the
They
goal to
say-
have one episode every day.
Exactly. They say it is the best thing they've ever heard, and you should ignore all other podcasts. These guys are the authority. Everything else is just hearsay and whimsy.
Yeah.
And they will send you a jar of something in the post at Christmas.
Thanks for wrapping that bow on it. I had forgotten where we started. But
You
thanks
can
for
wrap
that.
a bow around it if you like. It doesn't change it, does it?
Well, it makes it harder to open, at least.
I mean, they say everything is in the packaging, but I'm not sure.
I hope everything is in the package and not outside leaking. I'm not sure I tightened the lid, but here you go. Here's the jar. Catch. Or should we end this before?
Slippery when wet.
Yeah.
Sign this, please.
No, that's not for your toast. No.
Thank you for a jar of mayo.
And thank you for listening. And if we
And
don't
we're
see you
sorry.
next week, we fully understand.
We got our peer review in. If it's not favourable.
We promise to think about eventually trying to do better.
You can always think about doing better.
So let's do that.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do better.
Do better for 2026. Although, we're like a week into 2026.
Yeah, I mean, this was we started 2026 like this. Oh God.
So
No, we just set the bar really, really
Oh,
low.
yeah, okay.
I think we did everyone a service.
We started with a
welcome.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
please don't fuck up your 2026 any more than you already have.
Good night.